So I'm doing film reviews now. Watch out, Mark Commode.
Yeah.
Side out! A new film has just been released on Apple TV called The Dink. Given that I'm talking about it on my Pickleball channel and it's called The Dink, you can probably guess that it is a pickleball related film. As this is the first kind of mainstream film about pickleball, I wanted to talk about it. And generally, it's okay. It's a silly comedy. It's not going to win any Oscars. The Dink tells the story of a tennis player called Dusty who works at his dad's tennis club, and it's about the competition and the battle between tennis and pickleball and the animosity between the two sports, which is a good basis for the film, and it creates that sort of tension and the general premise of the film without giving away many spoilers, although to be honest, you could watch the trailer and figure out the entire plot of the film just from watching that. But Dusty can't play tennis anymore, plays pickleball, originally skeptical of it, meets some older players, thinks he should beat them, and falls in love with the game. It's more about the characters within it, about his development. And while there is character development within the film, these are all fairly two-dimensional characters, but what else would you expect from a film like this, really? It's a fairly straightforward comedy about pickleball and about tennis, and it does have its moments, but overall, I think it's generally okay. I feel like you could make Dusty a former 10-pin bowling player who has an injury and then has to take up lawn bowls or something instead, and he would meet older people in the same way and have that same competition, etc. So pickleball is a good basis for what happens in the film. I do feel like you could put another sport in its place and it wouldn't necessarily change the narrative at all in the film. And a lot of comparisons have inevitably been made between this and Dodgeball because Ben Stiller is in this film. His doctor cameo role is not that funny, to be honest. The jokes are quite crude. I'm not a prude when it comes to comedy, but his doctor character is all just very one-dimensional. And if I tell you that the doctor is dealing with a wrist injury, then you can probably tell what the joke is going to be just from that alone. And he appears again later to just really hammer the joke home. That's an unintentional pun, actually, because the nickname of the tennis player, Dusty, is the Hammer. So while the Dodgeball comparisons are inevitable, given that Ben Stiller is in both and they're both sporting films, Dodgeball is far more over the top and a better film, in my opinion. But it does keep some of the quirkiness that Dodgeball had. There aren't as many quirky characters, but Dusty's friend PJ is definitely one of them. And there is one thing I've spotted, which I'm going to be generous and assume is an intentional mistake by the filmmakers to illustrate how little the tennis club owner, Dusty's dad, actually knows about pickleball at the start of the film. At the beginning, he gives a presentation about pickleball and how it's such a scourge on the planet and a scourge against tennis. The picture that he shows of the players at the start, they're playing padel. So either that's a production glitch or that's quite a subtle joke within the film. And it could be the latter. And as I say, I'm going to be generous and assume that it is. For a film that does not have subtle comedy throughout, that would be a very subtle joke in among everything else. Obviously, pickleball is known as an older sport and it doesn't shy away from that side of the sport. And I think it showcases that in a good light, that it's true in pickleball that the older players, although they may be older, it doesn't mean that they're less skillful. It doesn't mean that they can't take on the younger players. And that's exactly why, personally, I love pickleball. I think it's a really good leveler. As the film points out, some people don't like that about pickleball, but I do. Personally, I am in a similar-ish position to Dusty in the film. I am in my 40s, and the people that I play with are typically 20, 30 years older than me, but I can't win every match. I don't win every match, and that's because pickleball is a leveler, and the film kind of gets that across. And as I say, it's not a great advert for pickleball play itself. The end match between Andy Roddick and Dusty is 3.0 level, shall we say, when you watch it played. But it's difficult to film these things. You watch any sporting film, it is difficult to film sport and make it look natural. But there's a line of dialogue which is about, oh, they're waiting for a pop-up. And just before that, there's a at shoulder and head height volley rally that goes on for quite a while, and you think, any one of those could have been volleyed and put away. So overall, The Dink, I think it's an okay film. It's not the best comedy I've ever seen, nor is it the worst. It's not a great advert for pickleball itself. It does have some pickleball humour in it. It's more about character. It's more about the humour from between the characters. There are some good cameos. John McEnroe's cameo is better than Ben Stiller's, I would say. If you have Apple TV, it's worth a watch. You may hate it, you may like it, but you'll more probably watch it and go, that was okay, and not watch it again, which is my opinion on the film. I feel like it's a one and done film. I don't think it's going to be a classic. I don't think it's going to be as highly regarded as something like Dodgeball is. But if there are any more pickleball films in the future, I'll talk about them on this channel. But next time, I'll be back to my 4.2 by 42 challenge and keep you updated with that. So thanks for watching. I don't think Mark Commode has anything to be worried about with my film reviews, but thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Go, 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 go.